Greetings and salutations, exiles. This is not a video, not a guide. That's kind of my video series I guess I've been working on, is not a guide. And I'll share with you some of my beliefs and kind of thought process behind it. And mainly it's kind of due to, one thing I noticed a trend is there's a bunch of YouTubers that typically they'll do like this is where you find the golden token special item, and they don't really have much insight into the gameplay. They're not even, they don't even play on official servers. They just play single player and like try to harvest the information for their YouTube channel. And it's kind of fake, to be honest, because I've watched a bunch of stuff. One guy in particular that's got a Superman shield in his logo, and half his videos are wrong. Like literally talks about the best thrall, shit's all wrong. Like not even close. And then he um, just like a continuation of, and I realize when you look at his content, he's covering about 6 games, and what he's doing is he's following that algorithm of what gives him the most views, so that way he can try to profit the most. So his monetary value is his priority, and he's kind of trying to cheese the viewership for. And I noticed that with a few. So when I do my community shout out, those are people um, who generally, I believe, who generally are like hardcore fans, and they're producing content of a quantity and a quality that's um, respectful of Conan or. So, anyways, this video is not a guide, right? Because I don't like to do that shit. Now I'll try to highlight a mechanic, like I did my star metal guide, and I called it a guide because I figured that's the best way. But really, I'm highlighting systems, and that's what I like the most. And Conan's, one of its biggest strengths are systems, and so I wanted to explain a system in this War Sanctuary. So a couple things. One is you come through the main door right here, and you can tell it's the main door because it's cut in a little bit. Okay, and you come in and you look and you have three rooms. They're colored, and this is important because you have your green, purple, or green, red, and purple, right? And like this one's got a two-handed sword. This one's got a book, and this one's got another book. Okay, and that kind of speaks to the what kind of boss they are. And so what's relevant about this, I'm getting a little bit of server lag. What's relevant? Oh man, see, okay, and this is where I want. This is really where I want to get into this topic. And so yesterday, I had a little bit of server lag, just like that. And a second or two, or a tenth of a second, you know, will cause you a death. And so what had happened is I had gotten my three little statues. I placed them, and I got the sanctuary key. Inner sanctuary, inner sanctum key. And so what I figured out is once you die and you've already killed these guys and you've placed their statues, these statues immediately disappear. And so you're locked out. And so right here, the way you get to the inner sanctum is through this key. I mean, you go to this, not this key, but this book kind of marks the door to the inner sanctum. And what happens is you're locked out because you've already killed all the NPCs or all the bosses. And so they don't drop statues again. As soon as you open the door, the statues disappear. And so once you lose this key, you're completely locked out of the dungeon. So you have to either A, wait for the dungeon to reset. And I kind of figured out that if I put the key on the thrall and the thrall respawns back at my base, at my bedroll, I'm able to just grab the thrall again and then run back over here and use the key to get back to my body, because I literally lost a whole bunch of stuff, star metal tools and a couple of legendary armor items because I couldn't get back in because I had already killed all the bosses. And so just kind of a pro tip and an understanding of mech systems, keep your inner sanctuary key on on the thrall. So watch. Remember the book is the marker. Okay, and then once I open this door, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna put the key back on the thrall. And so there's another piece I want to speak to is I initially thought, oh shit, a little bit of server lag. I don't know what's going on. I initially thought that armor pin had no application in the game, and um, I was mistaken because they dropped these swords in here that do relatively pretty low armor. But what I've come to realize is, I'm sorry, relatively pretty low damage compared to some of the stuff. Like this one only does, well, I put the armor kit on there, so I got 55 out of it. The armor kit gives 6. Okay, so but what I come to realize is that um, it does make a huge difference. And these bosses, these 2 bosses in here, the ones that you got to get your armor scraps from, because you have to farm these armor scraps in order to make your was it Godbreaker set? Where's it at? I'm looking. It's supposed to be there it is. You can bypass that sanctum dungeon and get right into the back of the arena through that crack, and it just saves time. You can just blow through it. There is a boss in there that'll drop a key. He's just like the one when you first enter the zone. He'll give you a fragment of power, but the reason why I'm running back here is I need water. Right? And they got black ice back here, so I'm able to kind of get some black ice and a little bit of water and keep myself up. So back to what I was saying about these 2 bosses. You have the champion and then the actual I forget his name, but he's the guy that's got the new armor set, the one with the black armor set. So I was fighting the champion and I just had a regular, dragon bone sword that did 70 damage, and the champion murdered my thrall, my relic hunter, full Sumerian armor, like 700 armor value, and just murdered my. I couldn't even with healing arrows. I couldn't keep him up fast enough, and that fight lasted probably like 3 minutes, but the champion killed my thrall, but then I came in here and had to run back to base and got this one that had the annihilator, and within 20 seconds, this thrall murdered the champion. And so they've got that armor value on those thralls, like they've gotten into the AI and completely maxed the armor value on those 2. So you got either have to have the annihilator or the two-handed hammer that drops that does like 45 damage, or was it 44 damage? And then if you put an armor kit, you can get 50 out of it, but it's also got 100% pin. You almost have to have those weapons, or you got to come in with a group. It's going to be one or the other, just by the sheer like difficulty of I'm kind of cheesing my water system here. So just I wanted to share that with you, and I'll show you an example, of what the champion looks like here, because you got to farm these armor scraps in order to make that Godbreaker armor set. And man, I lost one thrall to her, and I wonder if she's got a truncheon bar. Let's see. I think I can knock her out, because she's got a bar. But see how quick like she's just wrecking through her, and without that yeah, there's no change in her bar. But without that, the fight was just, she just, because she hits like a truck. And so I know some of the YouTubers were like, she's pretty easy to kill, blah blah blah. No, she will wreck you. She will definitely wreck you. She'll 3-shot me in my pink underwear. So Yeah, it's just something to be kind of insightful about. This is the kind of the first video of the day, and I realize there's a little bit of ramble, but I haven't had my coffee yet. Um, so I just wanted to kind of share with you the some mechanisms, right? So if I die right now, my thrall will go to the re-teleport at the and really I'm at the point where I'm farming these armor scraps. I keep saying scraps. And so I kind oh, you know what? I haven't killed that dragon yet. I haven't got all these ads. Let's see what that dragon. It'll take 10 minutes, but I'm curious if there's any legendary wow, I'm just getting fragments of power on it. So we'll check that out real quick. I wonder if these guys, if they have a loot table. What if I do this? Just regular Ichor? Okay. So what do we got in here? We got... So he's a straight on three skull boss. Um, and she's already attacking. Let me get some healer arrows on her. And I'm gonna get oh, and he's a fire breather. I'm gonna get some hit this chest real quick just because I'm back here and I can. Come on, let me loot. Oh, you don't have a key. Oh, he's a key guy. Let me get some drink some water. So instead of the fighting the one that's important, God, it's so irritating. Instead of who are these guys? Why is this thing a legendary also? There we go. Now she's fighting the right one. Jesus. The fact that this thing, ooh, I just walked right into that. The fact that this thing is this a legendary? What is this dude? Oh yeah, it's a mini boss. Interesting. Interesting. I think that's enough. I don't want to get carried away. That's what happened last time. Is I got a little carried away. So kind of moral of the story is, and I'll end this when I fight the boss, is you have to have an annihilator. I forget what the other one is, what it's called. That two-handed, it looks like a star metal sword is what it looks like, but it's got 100% armor pin. You have to have that if you're going to put this on a farm rotation, because the champion's just going to wreck you. And then also you're going to want to put oh, these guys got heavy. Okay, you're going to want to put that key on your thrall, because that I must have died 5 times trying to get back in here. Like, that was a painful experience. Oh, did it bug out? It bugged out. Man, that armor value on those must be super high, because it's holding its own with that dragon. I'm gonna get a ton of dragon bone and haunch, and let's see what's on this guy. I hope he's got a fragment of power. They badly need to rework the let's see if he's just got a key. Okay, take all. Okay, and then okay, so let's get out and start chopping up. Heavy hide. Okay, what's this guy got? Demon blood. Man, I really gotta go farm a and I got a shield. What is this? Cold. Oh, look at that. Cold insulated. Take all. That's actually utility shield. So let's do this. Put that there. Get rid of this. Right? How much does this weigh? Okay, there we go. Cold insulated. Let's do this. right? Interesting. Okay, so is there any more chest in here? I don't see any more chest. Yeah, that's a utility shield. Whenever they have an item that is like straight, there's easier ways to get keys. There's a lot easier ways to get monsters that are far easier to kill. I'm looking for gold. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of. Somebody's been through here. Um, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of thralls. And the other YouTuber I talked about, he just was like, yeah, you can buy tier 2 thralls. What he failed to mention is they're on a random roll, so you can get named thralls out of that. You have a chance to get a named thrall, like with the fighter. The name thrall that you get is actually the Oathbreaker, the tier 4 taskmaster called the Oathbreaker. Yeah, somebody's been through here. These have all been. I believe the respawn on these chests is an hour. Not 100% sure, but I believe that's what it is. Okay, I don't want to get too overloaded, and I've already checked the chest. I don't need to kill the other. Plenty of haunch. I would like to see here in this dungeon here. So I always come through, get some black ice, get some haunch. I would like for them to open this up, this right here, or have some kind of, maybe you have to throw a fire orb on it, or maybe But you can see a chest in there. And do I have any fire orbs? No. I'm gonna bring a fire orb and see if I can get into that. See if there is but you can see there's a chest in there, and you can tell that's a black yeti. So I'm curious. There's black ice all through here. What's nice is you don't have to go. It's a little just logistically, it's a little easier to come and farm black ice out of here than it is to go up north, because you don't have that like cold damage. And we're gonna watch this fight, and I'll shut up. But watch how he transitions through the different mechanisms. It's just done so nicely. Okay, and I'm gonna shut up. Here comes. Tell me that is just not awesome. Like, that is so nicely done. He's like getting bigger and busting out of his armor. I got to give the developers props. This is some of the nicest boss development that I've seen, and I really like the way they, just in general. I would love for them to go through and repolish some of the dungeons and bosses, and have like these unique characteristics. Like, you have to have, the Annihilator to kill this guy. I mean, you don't, but you're not going to be able to solo him like this. Like, you're gonna need some help. You're gonna have to have a definite strategy. But I like how every time he gets bigger, he rolls through a different set of combats. Okay, and then I just need the scraps. Okay, nice. I got a sword. So I want to point out something. If these swords, um, when I equip this, it'll take away half my life and half my stamina with corruption, and I can do damage with it. But if I equip it to the thrall won't do any damage to it. Like, the thrall will hit stuff, but it won't do damage. So I almost feel like these items are designed for upcoming content. Um, they're you know, the way the Scourge system is supposed to work is that purple is basically supposed to be your mana pool. And so if you want to cast magic or you know, summon stuff or do some kind of corrupted damage, you're going to need corruption, and you know, but it counters your health and stamina, that you know, that other ability. So it's their version of a mana bar. Um, See, I can't get out because I don't have the key on me. So I need the key in order to open this door, just to kind of give you some insight on systems, if that makes any sense. So if I die, um, it's a way for me to manage getting back into this building. So, anyways, as always, like and subscribe. I hope you like this kind of content. It's you know, it's not really meant to be a guide and tell you where all the juicy bits are. It's more along time to inform you about the complexity of the game, systems at play, and you know, often what'll get you killed, or you know, they went through and redid the sword graphic on all these. They basically gave these guys that sword is what they did. They went through and basically where'd my guy? Is she bugged out? I'm like, I got to alt tab to stop the video, and I can't stop the video. She's gone full retard on me, and I'm getting Archer to death. Come on, come on. And I'm out of stamina. And a little bit of lag too. That might be what's going on. I might be. Come on, come on. Come on. There we go. One down. I don't know. I probably have to run and teleport her. So she'll teleport to me, and then she'll reset. But yeah, but the haunch is the way to go. Come on. Where are you at? Okay, she teleported. There we go. And that'll probably reset the combat. And I would avoid at all costs swapping weapons out. You can glitch a Thrall's AI out bad by swapping out weapons. So once you kind of, so don't swap out a weapon while they're physically in combat. Wait until they're out of combat to do it. As always, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Actually, don't subscribe, right? That's my little creative piece. I don't know if you've watched it about the Crom prayer. If you're a true Conan fan, watch that. You'll get a laugh out of that. But I have had people unsubscribe because of that. I think it's hilarious.